Hello, hello, everyone. It is Brenda here for Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. All right, first of all, if you are viewing, let me know that the sound is a-okay. It's always a struggle with me with technology and to make sure that everything is good. So if you're joining us, welcome. If you're on the replay, awesome. But let me know if the sound is okay. I know last week I was struggling and there was some echo. Please let me know that the sound is okay, please. All right, okay, awesome. Yay, I got it. All right, so tonight we're going to kind of explore some interactive cards, all right? So we got kind of two things I want to kind of show you this evening. One is going to be the Lawn Fawn, the new, now I forget the name of this one, pull and slide surprise card. I want to show you how easy this is to put together. And it's just, and the fact that you can use it with any type of collection. I know it's lawn fawn and we all think it's cutesy, but I want to show you that yes, you can use it with different paper collections to create different looks. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. And then I thought we would explore the new Emily Moore Designs gift card holders today. All right, the dies. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, we showed them in happy hour today. It's a brand new company to us, and I'll explain them when I get to that. But first, we're going to start with the Lawn Fawn. Pull and slide surprise card. All right, so this is a die. Now I've taken my die out of packaging and I've got it on magnet sheets, but you can see there's a lot in the die. All right, so there is going to be kind of this frame piece and then this tag piece. Those are your main pull and slide pieces, and then they give you a few little extras. All right, so these are going to be your stabilizer pieces. Those are important, but everything else that you see here are kind of extras, things that you can use to decorate your card. We've got this little lovely scalloped rectangle. It's got a little stitching design on there, great for sentiments. We've got a couple of banners that would fit sentiments really nicely. You've got a nice scripty hello and a scripty thanks. These little two are the decorative elements for the pull tab. We'll be using each of them this evening, so I'll show you how to use these. And this here, this little bar here, it's just a decorative element, and I'll show you where to put that. Not so much that I'm using it this evening, but I will point that out where that goes. So this is probably one of the easiest interactive dies from Lawn Fawn to put together. I'm not going to lie. I watched Kelly put this together. Kelly is from Lawn Fawn, the owner, put this together, and I'm like, wow, that's super easy. So hopefully we can get a few of them done, and then we'll move on to the Emily Moore Designs gift card holders, all right, to show you how they work, all right? So I have pieces already. Now I'm going to say Lawn Fawn did this for me. They've actually provided me with a little kit to show how this goes together. So I can't take credit for this, but I will put it together. So Lawn Fawn actually sent me this, so I'm going to be using this. However, I'm going to use it with another paper collection to show you how versatile this die is. All right, so I am just going to put this to the side because I've already done my die cutting. And let's just talk about the pieces here. All right, so what Lawn Fawn has done is they've cut out that stabilizer die. All right, so this is here. It's really two strips of paper. All right, that's going to be cut out. They're 1/8 of an inch wide strips of paper. So they just cut that out of white cardstock. So we have those ones. Then I have one of the decorative pull tab covers. All right, so that's going to be this one right here. And then now I know I have two of these. You really only need one, but I'm going to show you something really cool on how to create a frame with this. All right. But this piece here which is going to be kind of our sliding mechanism. That is kind of this piece here. This is that frame piece here. Now, what's cool about this piece is that it's got the stitching design, which I love. But it does all these score lines on there as well. So, I mean, Lawn Fawn always makes things easy for creating these interactive cards. They do all the hard part. They do the designing and the thinking and all that. And once you understand how they put together, it's really, really simple. So that's where that piece is. And then this piece here is going to be this kind of like a tabbed piece, all right? And then I have a couple of extra pieces. This is going to be basically my card panel. And then this is going to be an extra piece, and I'm going to explain this in a second, all right? So let's take a look at how quick and simple, and then of course I will have some little embellishments as well, all right, using some of the new Lawn Fawn. Okay, so once you have your pieces die cut, basically what you need to really do this card is this. These are the three pieces that are a necessity to make this work, all right? Your stabilizer pieces, your little pull tab, and then this kind of framed piece, all right? This is kind of the basis of this interactive card. Everything else is going to be more decorative embellishments and making it fun, okay? So let's get started. So I'm going to start with this piece here. It's been die cut for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to the back side. And I'm going to take my little stabilizer pieces here, and we're going to adhere these, all right, to the left and the right of the back side of this, all right? So you're just going to center it top to bottom, but it's going to go right to the edge. Now you can use liquid glue. You can use 1/8 of an inch tape. I'm going to use liquid glue just because it's easier. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to grab my glue here, and let's all hope that this works, because this morning, it is working. This morning, I realized I didn't put the lid back on here. So it's been sitting in my little stand. My glue press has been sitting in my stand for days on end. So I was worried that it was going to be clogged, but it is not. So I am proof that this thing is awesome, and it does not, it does not clog. And yeah, that's my story. All right, so one stabilizer bar is going to go to, and there's a little bit of give on this, all right? So if you don't get it perfectly down right to the edge, it's okay. There's some forgiveness there, so not a big deal. All right, so I have that one piece there. Hopefully you can see it. I know it's white on white, but it's right there. And you can see I'm not right to the edge, but that's okay. No worries. All right, and then I'm going to grab my other one and put the adhesive on there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, all right? And you're just going to center it top to bottom as best you can. I think I like using liquid glue because you've got a little bit of wiggle room on there, all right? So my little stabilizer pieces are on. Easy peasy, right? Now I'm going to flip this to the front side. Now the front side, of course, is the side that's got the nice stitching and all there. And we're going to do the folding on the score line. So there are 3 score lines. There's one here, there's one in the middle, and there's one at the top. And your die, and the die will actually have that, all right? So there's a score line here, your middle one, and then your bottom one here, or I mean the bottom one here. All right, so I'm going to start with the middle one, and I'm going to fold that so it's a mountain fold, all right? So I'm going to grab my bone folder. All right, so you're just going to fold that as a mountain fold. All right, easy peasy. All right, the top one then we're going to fold away from us, so it becomes a valley fold. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right, and then they're the one at the bottom here. We're going to do the same thing, and that becomes a valley fold too. And I do recommend, I have ink all over my bone folder. I am going to recommend that you use a bone folder. I'm going to use the opposite side because I don't want to transfer that ink. Needs a good cleaning, I guess. Use a bone folder, really crisp up those edges, all right? So when you are done, that is what it's going to look like, all right? So you can see the side profile there. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now I'm going to flip this to the back side again. And on this little tab here, all right, we folded this out. It's left us a little tab here. That's where you're going to put adhesive. And I'm going to use my double-sided 1/4 inch adhesive, which I forgot to grab. So I'm just grabbing it from my stash here. All right, I don't know if this is a quarter of an inch or 3, or no, I think it's 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to place that right on there. You don't want to go past the score line. So the 1/4 inch is going to fit beautifully on there. All right, and I've just now ripped that off. All right, so that's on there. Now I'm going to flip it to the front side. And I'm going to now grab my little tabbed piece. All right, so there's a tab here and there's a notch here. I swear Lawn Fawn is just brilliant. They think of everything. So to make this really simple, basically you're going to center that tab in the little notch, all right? And then I like to hold it up in my hands and then just kind of position it so that both those little the edges of the top are lined up. Okay. Once you have that in place, like so, all right, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to place it down. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to take the backing off. I just shifted mine, so I'm going to have to do that again. But I'm going to take the backing off my adhesive, the liner. Okay. All right. Again, I'm going to just line that up. All right, we're good. I'm going to hold that, and then all I'm going to do is press down on that blue piece, and that's going to secure it now onto that tab piece. And now when you pull that tab, the magic happens. All right, so you can see that. All right, so that is the essence of this. Right now, you would just take this and you would place it onto your card front, making sure that you just put adhesive on these stabilizer bars and nowhere else. You're going to place that on your card base. Now, having said that, now when you pull this, whatever is your card base, that's what's going to be revealed. All right. Now you can do lots of different things. You can have a put a white cardstock there or colored cardstock with a sentiment on there. You can have another playful piece of pattern paper. I mean, it's up to you. So that's where this piece is going to come into play. We're going to actually back this on there so that when the recipient pulls the tab, the polka dot goes up, but the polka dot still reveals here. So it's almost like magical, right? But you could actually put another piece of pattern paper that coordinates in there, whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. So this piece here, I just cut it the same size as what this frame piece is. So which is, it looks like it's 3.5 by 4 3/4. All right. So that's all you need to do is cut another piece. Now, the key is when you go to adhere it to the back side of this, you only want to put adhesive on these stabilizer bars. So for this, I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch tape. All right, and we're just going to take that piece off because it's not sticky. And let's put this on. So you don't want to go over. All right, so I'm just going to put my 1/8 of an inch. You could do liquid glue for this, but my fear is that if you don't place it right, the glue squishes out and then it adheres something, and then you won't have a slide and pull. All right, so for this, I do recommend having your double-sided tape. All right, so 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to take the liner sheets off. And now all I'm going to do is now line this up together and stick that down. So now when I pull this, we have polka dots and polka dots. All right, so that's where that is. Now on the inside, like I said, you could put a stamped sentiment on there. You could have a little stamped image on there. You could put a gift card in there. Lots of different things. And I do, suggest taking a look at the Lawn Fawn blog because they have so many great examples. Too. Does this die come with instructions to assemble? No. So you have me. You can always go back to this video, Michelle, or if you go to the Lawn Fawn website, they will have instructional videos. Actually, it's your YouTube channel. If you go to their YouTube channel, they have great instructions on how to put this together. So honestly, once you put one together, it's pretty simple to do this. I never put one together yet. I watched a video and I'm just going by what I remember, and so far so good. So so there is the pull and slide bit. All right, so let's continue on with this. So I'm going to take this piece now and I'm going to attach it to what will be my card panel. Now, one thing I normally do whenever I ever have a Lawn Fawn interactive die is I always like to pop up these elements for the people that have bigger fingers, so it makes it a little bit easier for them to pull. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put foam squares behind this now before I place it onto my card panel, and then we'll get into the fun part of decorating. So I forgot to grab foam tape, so we're just going to use a bunch of the foam square adhesives on the back. It's really not complicated. Like I said, once you do a few, and I would like honestly, sometimes with these interactive dies, Do it out of like just plain cardstock. Don't you waste your good cardstock or your good pattern paper. Use it with the paper that you don't like and just make a sloppy copy, as we call it. And then write on there the instructions, right? Like whatever you, if you were to read it, how you would understand it, and then you have it in your reference. Stick it with the die, and then it's there. All right, so I pop dotted that. I'm going to center this in. And just remember, these videos, now on YouTube as well. So they're always there. They're labeled as What's Up Wednesday with the date and the title there. So you can find them quite easily if you follow us on the YouTube on YouTube channel, all right, on our YouTube channel. So yeah, you can always find them. Okay, so now we've got some, this is all from the same paper pack, so that everything goes together, the polka dots, the grid, the stars, everything, the color combinations are all there. All right. So now let's get into the decorative elements. That is the premise of this. All right. So we've got this pull and slide now. All right. We've done it. Now it's all about the embellishing, which is super fun. Okay. So remember, I have this little lovely tab. All right. Now this one here, you're just going to fold it in half. There's a score line in half. This has a little directional arrow. So when you place this on the tab, this is going to go on this little tab here. It's actually going to tell the recipient to pull up, all right? That's what it's supposed to do. So you honestly are just going to glue that on, making sure that the arrow is pointing to the direction it's supposed to be pulled, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Now there is another little cover for the tab, and it's just one that's got stitching. It doesn't have a directional arrow on it, but it does have the stitching on it. But it's just nice to, you know, able to change the color of this, make it pop out so people know to pull it. All right, so this just lines up. And so I'm just going to stick that for the glue to stick. All right, so there is that. So now we have the little pull tab. All right, so there we go. All right. Now, what we're going to do is I want to show you something really cool. And this is like not me. This is totally from Fawn. Is what they did is they took another, they die cut another one of these out of another pattern paper. And I'm going to use this as a frame. All right. So I really want to just cut the inside flap off. Now there is a score line there. So if you are, you know, well versed with an X-Acto knife and a ruler, you can just line it up on that score line and cut it. You can use your paper trimmer. You can use your scissors. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to line this here. So this is just a decorative way to really play with patterns, which I love. And then you're just going to cut from the cut line to the cut line. All right. So just go slow. And you'll notice that I'm cutting right on my glass mat. These are scratch resistant. So I'm able to do that. And I love cutting on glass because I get a cleaner cut rather than a self-healing mat. I always find that you get a nice cleaner cut when you do that. You'll find using the craft knife is much easier when you cut on glass. Okay, so all right, so I've cut the inside of this, and now this here will fit right on here. And now look at all the playful patterns we have, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that on, and this is still going to work because those frames match exactly, all right? So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just use a little bit of liquid glue on here. If you are an over gluer, then I would suggest using a tape runner. If you are okay and not an over gluer, then you can use liquid glue, then it won't spread out to the sides. All right, so there is that. So look how playful that is. Lots of playful patterns there, lots of playful colors. Okay, so now let's decorate it. So this is one of the brand new sets from Fawn, and the name is escaping me. For those that know it, you can put it in the feed in the comments. But this has got the little blackboard. It's got the little speech bubbles with the little sentiments for graduation, and it's got the little graduating mice. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this right on to our blackboard so that they look like they're just kind of hanging over the edge. All right. Super sweet. Now, I did not color these. Fawn sent these to us the way they are. So thank you, Fawn. All right. So I'm just putting a little liquid glue there. And then this is going to fit from end to end. So I'm just going to glue that right on the edge, the top edge of that chalkboard, blackboard. All right. So there we go. We've got the little mice hanging over there. How cute is that? Okay, so now we've got our speech bubbles and our little main point, our main focus point. All right, so here's the thing. When you pull this, this is the area you want to attach things onto. That is what's going to stand up on the easel. All right. So whatever your focal point is, whether it be florals or these cute little mice or whatever your image is, you want to glue it on here. And you only want to stay in the parameters between that middle score line and that bottom score line. All right. You don't want to go over. You don't want to go over here. You just want to glue on there. All right, that's all you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use foam adhesives here. And I'm just going to put a row of foam adhesives, just maybe about a ½ inch down from that middle score line. All right. I like to mention, do you need to have foam adhesives? No, you could lay this down flat, but I like to mention. So that's where I put them. So I'm going to take the backings off. And now I'm going to attach my little dudes here, all right? So I'm just going to center this back left to right. That looks good. I'm going to bring it over just a little bit. All right, so it's stuck on there. So it's only stuck on that bottom piece of that rectangle. And now when I fold that up, it's got a nice little easel. Look how cute that is, right? All right, now the speech bubbles can go on this part, and we can have them so they're just above the little mice here. And I'm going to pop dot them as well. Again, you want to keep your pop dots in amongst, or your adhesive in amongst that top piece. Now, when you pull the mechanism, this won't actually pop up. It will actually get hidden behind, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to center that so it's above the mice. All right, so something like that. So when the recipient opens it, it looks like this and flat, and they go, oh, there's a little arrow. All right, so let's pull that. And then it becomes this little surprise window that pops in. You could definitely have another sentiment there. You could have a gift card. You can also place a gift card here because that will be hidden as well. So let me just pretend that this is the gift card. I'm just going to cut this down just a little bit to resemble a gift card. I guess I should have grabbed one from the store just to show you. So let me just make this into a mock-up gift card. I don't know what the size of a gift card is, but I'm doing this 2x3. I don't know if that's the right size. It looks right, but all right. So then you could put the gift card here with a repositionable tape. All right. So all right, so you would slide that, you can center that in, all right, and then that will tuck in, all right? So that's where your gift card would go. You could put a little sentiment. You could also tuck in the gift card here, but I do like it on that slide. It's that little surprise as the recipient pulls up, all right? So there is the pull and slide surprise Lawn Fawn style, all right? Simple, it's pretty simple to create, all right? We're gonna go through this again, all right? I'm gonna walk you through. And we're going to do this now with 49 and Market. All right. So let me just tidy up just a little bit here. All right. So let's do this with a 49 and Market collection. This is an older collection. We do have this in stock. So this is Willow. All right. So I went and did what I needed to do. Remember, there's only really 3 pieces you need to make this work. All right. Which is the frame piece, all right, which is this piece. Then you need the tabbed piece, which is this piece. And then you need those stabilizer pieces, all right? So I just cut those stabilizer pieces out of the excess from when I cut this one out. I had a little bit of a width on the side of this that it would fit that die, so that's what I did. No one sees it, so it doesn't matter what you use, so that's fine. This piece here will be my card front, all right? So So I just picked a couple of different patterns that I thought would be lovely. I love this one here because it had florals at the bottom and that butterfly. I have rub-ons here, and then I also have some uh, um, laser cuts. All right, so I'm going to use this, and we're going to do the same kind of style of card, but now with a totally different collection to show you how versatile this die is. The other thing I cut out is a little tab. This one's a stitched one. This one does not have the arrow, like I said. All right. Oh, I forgot to mention too, I was going to do this. This little piece here, I told you, is a more of a decorative piece. If you do sceneries and such, this piece can go on. This is a little decorative piece that can go on that little bottom flap there, that little piece. So if you wanted to have another pattern there, this piece will fit right on there. All right. So I just wanted to tell you because I told you I would tell you what that is. Okay. So let's put this together. So we're going to start again on our main frame piece. We're going to flip this to the back, and we're going to attach our stabilizer pieces. Now, okay, I'm going to use my double-sided tape on this one. So I'm just going to, these are 1/8 of an inch. And so I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch tape, and just going to stick this on. I just want to show you that, yes, you can use double-sided tape on this. All right, so 1 and 2. And it doesn't matter what side you put the tape on. No one sees these pieces. All right. This just gives the a little bit of dimension in between the two pieces for the sliding to happen. All right. And it also helps keep things centered. That's all these little pieces do. They are important. All right. So let's take the liner pieces off. And again, like I said, you can use liquid glue on this. That would be my preference. All right. And then these are going to be stuck on the left and the right-hand side up to the edge. And it's okay if you don't get it right to the edge. I should have put the adhesive on the other side so I can actually see it, because now I'm going pattern on pattern, but that's okay. So that's on there. And let's do our second one. So that one's on the right-hand side. And then let's do this one on the left-hand side. Again, just center it top to bottom as best you can. And there's a little forgiveness in it. So if you don't get it lined up, you are okay. Okay, so our stabilizer pieces are on there now. I know they're hard to see, but they are, okay? Okay, I'm gonna flip this to the front side, and now we're gonna fold the score line. So I'm gonna do the middle one first, and I'm gonna use my bone folder just to crisp them up. Okay, so there's that. And then we're gonna do the top one, and we're going to do a valley fold on that one. So mountain fold for the middle one, valley fold for the top one, and a valley fold for the bottom one. Okay, really simple. The score lines are there. Just follow them. All right, so there we go. Now on the back side of this one, okay, I'm going to flip this over. On the back side of that little tab is where we're going to put adhesive. All right, and I do recommend having 1/4 inch adhesive. Okay, so that's on there. I'm going to flip this to the front side. All right, we're going to grab our tabbed piece now. All right, I'm going to remove the liner from the back of that tab now. Maybe not. Okay, so that's undone. And now I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to center that notch, or the tab in the notch, and then kind of make sure that the tops of both the pieces are aligned with each other. All right, I'm going to hold that in place, and then I'm just going to push down, and that is automatically going to adhere on the bottom now. All right, so we are good to go. All right, so now when I pull this up, we've got that sliding mechanism going. All right, lovely, lovely. All right, now before I go any further, I'm just going to go ahead and attach my little tab covered piece here. So again, there's a score line in the center. Oops, there's a score line in the center. The problem with 49 and Market is that it's so thick. There we go. It actually, I might have to cut another one because I folded it on the perforated piece and it split it. So let's see if I can fix this. Nope, I'm not going to be able to use that. It's just the way I folded it. I went a little crazy there, but that piece would then fit on here. It's just the nature of 49 market paper for that little tab. It just folded along the perforated. I wasn't being careful, but now I have white space on there and I don't like that. So I'll cut another one off the camera. Okay, so now this piece here, I'm not going to put a backing because I like the green, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now pop this up. And when I pop this up, you only want a foam adhesive on the sides to adhere. So for this, I do recommend the foam strips. Now, you don't need to pop it up. That is just a personal preference for me. I just find a lot of people just, especially, I'm going to say, if they have sausage fingers, you know, it's hard for them to pull if it's down flat. With a little bit of lift, it's easier to pull that tab. So these from Scrapbook Adhesive, the foam lines are perfect. So you're just going to put them right on those stabilizer pieces. They will fit exactly. I'm not too concerned it goes right to the bottom. I try to center them, but I went a little closer to the top, I think, but that's okay. All right, so you're just gonna line that up on those stabilizer pieces. All right, so there is that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the release sheets off. And now I'm just gonna stick this onto my card panel, all right? So I want to center this as best I can. It's hard when the camera is in my view. All right, so there is that. And now we have that on there. And look how pretty that is. I mean, completely different look than the playfulness of this one. Now we've got something that's just a little bit more dramatic. And now let's go ahead and decorate this. All right, so I've got rub-ons here. So let's see what they have in terms of sentiments in here that we can maybe put not only here, but here, all right? So let's see what we have. Again, this is all from the Willow line. It's just something we had the extra of that I thought would be perfect. All right, well, maybe I will put, oh, there's too many options. Okay, okay, I'm going to just start trimming some out. So I really like this design here. This is a cool thing about rub-ons because you can layer them up. I'm going to use this design as well. Okay, so that's those two. And then plant dreams, pull weeds, grow through what you all right, let's do I'm glad you exist. Again, if I could use stamps as well. Okay, and then I'm going to also grab, let's do decisions. I really like this floral as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the floral on the inside here. So I'm just going to kind of push that up and just kind of fit this in as best I can. All right. Once I have that down, I'm just going to use my bone folder. And we're going to rub. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. All right, so I'm just going to lightly pull and make sure I have, oops, missed a little part there. So I'm just going to lay that back down. And pull the release sheet off. Looks good. Okay, so we've got this floral in there. Lovely, lovely. And I'm just wondering, let's see. I'm wondering. I think I might put this butterfly here, the smaller one here, with it. All right, So let's do this guy here. So I'm going to put this kind of down in this corner, right on top of the other rub-on. Rub-ons will rub on top of other rub-ons, so that's kind of cool. You can layer them up. All right, so I'm going to pull that off. All right, so there is my lovely little image there. And I could actually put another little sentiment there, but nothing is speaking to me off of this one. So we'll just leave it as that. But now I want to put something up here. So I'm going to grab these ones. I love these ones, these kind of background ones. So, and I don't care if this one does not go on all the way, because it's like a background one. It's okay if I have bits and pieces. So I'm just going to rub, and then just pull it off, and whatever comes off, comes off. All right. So actually most of that came off. So, and then maybe I'll just use whatever's left over here. Okay, so we've just got a little bit of background. Now for this one here, actually I might go back in and just add a few of these in there. So everything has got matchy match. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one here. I'm just going to do random. I'm just going to place in, and so we get a little bit of that grid action going on in there. And maybe just a little bit at the top here. All right, and now we've got a little bit, it's kind of all matchy match, okay? It's very subdued, but it's there. All right, now for this one here, I'm gonna grab my I'm Glad You Exist. All right, so I'm going to place this, try to make it straight. So working with rub-ons, I always be careful when I'm pulling the release sheet off. I don't rip it off like a Band-Aid unless I'm doing like a background one. When I want the full thing, I go slowly, because if something doesn't rub on, I'm able to put that release sheet back down and rub. All right, but that one came off nicely. All right, so we have that on there, and I think we need to have a butterfly here as well. I'm going to use the rest of this here, just because it's here and I can. All right. So let's grab another butterfly. Let's do, I think maybe, that one's too big. All right, we're going to do this green one here. All right, so again, I'm going to do rub on rub on here. I'm going to fit this around the word. All right, there we go. And then let's go ahead and burnish that on. Again, I'm going to slowly take off that release sheet to make sure that I got it all. And I have. All right, so there, look how beautiful that is. But we're not done, because I've just decorated the inside and the pull tab. All right, we still have our little easel to decorate. Even though it's got a beautiful little scenery on there with the butterfly and all that, let's move on now to our laser cuts. All right, so let's see what we have in here. We've used this for different samples, so maybe I'll be able to find some wonderful stuff in here. Oh, look at, there is little sayings here. So maybe that's what I can do. I'm glad you exist. Keep going, keep growing. That might be fun. I can always put that down in there. I don't know. There's always fun stuff. When it comes to ephemera now, this is where it all, it's just fun, fun, fun. All right, so, ooh, we've got this lovely one that matches kind of the piece that we put in there. So now I can build it again. I can build a lovely width dimension that hangs off the edge here, as long as I glue it down just in between those two score lines. So I'm just going to grab a few little pieces here. Ooh, there's a good leaf here. A couple of good leaves here. And then I'm going to do a butterfly as well. And I like these greenery pieces. Okay. So now I'm just going to build a cluster on here. And this is like personal preference. I'm going to make it look really easy just because, you know, I love making these little clusters. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and on here, and I'm going to attach this at the bottom, again, staying in between those two score lines. So I have it hanging off the edge, and that's okay. I'm going to take the other one here, and then I'm just going to overlap that in the middle. All right. I know I'm covering that butterfly, but I'm going to put another butterfly in there. All right. And then I'm going to take these pieces here and I'm going to start building a cluster so that we have lots of dimension here. And you'll notice I'm just ripping off the stems. That's just the way I work. I know it looks like a bit of a hot mess right now, but I promise you I will fix this up, okay? Okay, so now I can go in and just add a little bit of extra glue to tack down these leaves. All right. And then where these two kind of connect, I am going to glue that just together, just ever so slightly, just to give it a little bit more stability so it's not so fragile. All right, so there's my little cluster. Now I'm going to grab my little hydrangea here, innard out, and I'm going to pop that right on top. All right, we've got this great now floral cluster, and I'm going to actually use foam adhesive with this one. All right, so I'm going to stick this. Again, I'm making sure I do not go past those score lines, all right? And then I'm just going to keep on adding foam adhesives behind here as just to give it a little bit more stability. I know you probably can't see exactly what I'm doing. It's a little finicky, but let me just do one more on this guy here. Okay, we just ripped that one off. It's okay. We're just going to stick a foam adhesive behind it and stick it back in place. No one's going to know except all of you. All right, so there is that. All right, so look at, we got a lovely little cluster now. I'm going to rip this one off and glue that back in because it's just hanging by a thread. That's the beauty of these beautiful laser cuts. They are just so finely detailed. But look at that beautiful cluster we have on there. And now I'm going to put that sentiment on there. So keep going, keep growing. And I think I need a skinny adhesive on this. All right. Once I have this done, we're going to move on to the Emily Moore designs because there's just so much goodness there as well. And I want to show you those. All right. So there is that. Let's get a butterfly and then this one can be done. So this looks like a good butterfly. And I like to bend up the wings and just add glue on its body. And then we'll stick that again. You got to just make sure where you're gluing is staying in amongst those two score lines. All right. So I'm going to attach that here. And then once that glue sets, then I can kind of pop that up and look at how beautiful that is. All right. So there it is flat. Oops. There it is flat. All right. And then when you pull that up, you're going to have that lovely easel. All right. So you've got that little cluster now that pops up. We've got this little design in the bottom. And then I'm glad you exist is there. Again, you can put a gift card in here if you choose. You don't need to. You've got some really great sentiments on there. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put one more butterfly. I'm going to put that in the top part because it just seems like a little void there. So I'm just going to put this one up there. So it kind of completes that little scenery. But again, when we pull that flap now, that one will get tucked behind. All right. So it'll be there, but tucked behind. All right. So that is the pull and slide surprise die from Lawn Fawn. Now that I got this great big mess in front of me. But same dies to create the same type of card, but we use different collections to give it a really different look. So we've got the playful colors, we've got the playful stamps imagery from Lawn Fawn here to create that pull and slide card. All right, so super fun, right? Super cute. But then we've also got something like this. This would be perfect for a birthday. It'd be perfect for an anniversary. It would be perfect even for a sympathy card, just because of that lovely little cluster that I have there. So I just so pretty. I think it's a really versatile die and really easy to put together. I hope I showed you really how simple it is. It's the embellishing that becomes complicated, but the die itself to put it together is quite simple. All right, so if you give me 2 seconds to just reset here, we're going to move on to those new dies from Emily Moore, and I want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk while I clean up here. So Emily Moore, I met when I was in Seattle at the show at NAMTA Creativation, and she has a fairly new company. I want to say she's from Michigan, but I don't know if that's absolutely true. That's what I want to say. But very lovely. She's a young girl. Her and her husband were there. Lovely couple. It was really fun to talk with them. They were super excited about being to the show, but I think they were overwhelmed with the response that they got from their product. I think it's about a year and a half that she is been in business, and she only has a minimal product list, all right, which is kind of nice when you are first buying as a store owner. It's kind of nice when they have minimal because it gives you a starting point. Sometimes when you get a new company and they've been in business for years and you look at their catalog, you just don't know where to start. So with Emily Moore Designs, because she's fairly new, it actually was easy to work with because she had minimal SKUs on her list. So it just made it really simple. All right. So I'm going to do the gift card holders tonight. I did show, if you want to see all the products that we have, you're going to have to look at Happy Hour, all right? Because she does have some really cool dies and stamps. But tonight we're really just I'm going to focus on this one here, which is her biggest seller. This is a gift card holder die. All right, a very simple die, but very effective. That's what I love about this. And then she also has this gift card holder with bow. So there is also a third one, but I did not bring it home because it was a Christmas ornament, and that's a gift card holder as well. But you'll see how these work, and you'll understand the Christmas. I could not do Christmas. I'm just not. I can't. It's too early to do Christmas. So this is our number one seller, the gift card holder, which is a beautiful. We'll cut this, which fits proportionally onto an A2 front, which is our traditional card front. It's got lovely scalloped edges, and then it's got the little corner die cuts there that your card will insert into. Then this one is a gift card holder with a bow. Now this is just a straight edge, and again, no decorative features on this one, just plain Jane. So really, this one here I think is a good buy because you can dress it up with the bow that comes attached. It's also got a little tag die as well. But you can also keep it plain and simple, especially for those masculine cards. All right. So I'm going to show you both tonight. They're really easy to work with. And it's just a matter of using some decorative papers and some ephemera or however you see fit to make them. All right. So I'm just going to put them to the side. And we're going to start with that. Start with this one. All right, the gift card holder die with a bow. Now I'm not going to show you how to do the bow. There is a base here, and then you have the overlay pieces, and on the back side it will actually show you how to create that bow. But I did want to show you how this one really works with masculine. All right, so I grabbed some of the Wanderlust Explorer that we had leftovers from sample making, and we're going to create a lovely card, masculine card, using that gift card holder. Now, there's two ways that you can use this gift card holder. You can use it on the front of your card, or you could use it on the inside of your card. So this one here, I am actually going to use on the inside of my card. All right. So I am just going to, I just don't want to make sure I don't lose battery power because I know um, my phone was getting a little low. Okay, so I just switched the cord. All good now. All right, so I have pieces already cut. We're just going to go ahead and create a card using that die. So what I've done is I've just got some of the decorative papers. This is going to be my front, and then this is going to be my inside. Now this piece I've used the die to cut, all right? So if I hold this up, you will see that it's cut that straight edge all around, and then it's done those two little notches to fit in your gift card. Again, if I was smart, I would have had a gift card. You're gonna see, you know what? I do have one here. It's not from the store, but it's from somewhere else. So let me just go grab it. Okay. All right. So shout out to Breakwall Brewery. This is a restaurant in town here. It is our local brew pub. But anyways, that is where the gift card will fit in. All right. So you can see how that works. So it's just a fabulous way. And it's not overly decorative, but really great for masculine cards. So let's just put this together. I'm going to take that gift card out for a second. So I have a white card base here. And again, I could go crazy with inking and all that. I'm not. I'm going to keep this pretty simple. So I've just cut some of the decorative paper from the Wonderlust collection from 49 and Market. This is from the 12 by 12. I've cut to fit right on my card base or card front. All right. And then I did the same for the inside. All right. I like things all matchy match. So again, I would probably take the time to ink the edges of this, but for time's sake, because those first two cards took me longer than I thought. So I'm just going to put that in there. Okay. This here, this is the die cut. So this is, I'm going to make it into a portrait card. So what is important is that when you put adhesive on here, you want to put adhesive everywhere but on these little notched out pieces. All right. So don't put adhesive there. So I'm going to use my tape runner just because it's got strong adhesive in there and I don't want it to let loose with the weight of the gift card. So honestly, you can just go around the perimeter of that die cut piece. So I've already pre-die cut that. And then I'm just going to stick this in the inside of my card. All right. Now under the card would go, now see, I can just flip this and flip this. This is why you don't want to glue them shut. All right. So there is where the card will fit in. It's in there secure. All right. She's got those notches in there perfectly. But if you wanted to, you could definitely put a stamped sentiment right behind it. If you chose to do that. She's got some really great stamp sets, which I'm going to show you in a second. But there's that. Now let's go ahead and decorate the front of this because let's finish this off, right? So I've just used some pattern papers here. We're just going to create some layers and use some of the decorative pieces to finish up this card. All right. So I'm going to okay, I'm going to lay this flat. I was going to pop it up, but for time, I'm just going to. So I'm going to position this. Let's go. Okay, let's grab some of the fun stuff. All right, so we got rub-ons here. Let's see what we got here. Do we got journey starts here. Let's do life as a journey. All right, so I'm going to grab this little life as a journey, and I'm going to just line this up at the bottom here, right over that compass. All right. Again, I apologize. I'm shaking my whole table. So that means the camera is shaking. Oops, I didn't get all these. See, I pulled that off like a Band-Aid. Don't pull it off like a Band-Aid. All right, and then I'm just going to get Okay, so we got a little sentiment on there. Oh, that one doesn't want to rub off. It's being stubborn. Okay, there we go. All right, we got that. Now let's get some little bits of laser cuts here. This is where the fun starts. I might actually even cover that airplane. Ooh, look at how cute those little luggage are. All right, so let's do that. Normally I would like pick out all my ephemera or laser cuts and then do it, but I'm just looking at the time and I'm seeing, I've been on for an hour. I still want to do another card or two, so I'm just going to start layering stuff together. All right, so we've got the little luggages there. We want to make this into a masculine card, so I'm just going to avoid the florals. We have a compass here, so let's go. You'll notice when I put my luggage down, I only put the foam adhesives kind of in the center because I like to tuck things in. All right, so we've got that there. Oh, there's a little camera. All right, so let's go here. We'll just layer that. What else we got here? Oh, I love these ephemera. Oh, the map. The map's kind of cool. All right. So again, when I glued down that compass, I only did it in the center so that I could stick things behind. All right. So if you take anything from this evening is when you're doing ephemera like this, always just adhere in the middle so that you can always tuck things behind. I really like these tags as well. Okay, what else we can put on here? Da, da, da. Oh, there's a cute little passport. I can just decorate and decorate. All right, so there is a cute little card, and then the inside, it would be great to have a great little kind of gift card. It could be like a gift card to a destination, maybe, a little travel gift card would be kind of cool as well. But really simple to put together. I'm just seeing there's a few more pieces I'd like to see put in here. So where did they go? This little piece here. All right, so that's that. I have a couple of the enamel dots here too, so I'm gonna just go for it just to have a complete. You know what? There's a buckle. See, this is a problem. I can sit here and decorate all night. All right, let me just get this little guy on. I'm covering up that little camera. I'm just not loving it there with everything else, so I'm just going to put that there and this little buckle over top. I need to move that over a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then I love these little guys. So let's do the little globe. We'll put right in the center there. I need my tweezers. I promise you, we're going to get to the other one. I just want to finish this one up completely. And let's do a little arrow. I love these little enamel ones because they just have such a lovely gloss to them. And let's do one of these little. Okay, we'll call it quits there. All right, so there is our card with the gift card holder in there. All right, so that's how to use that gift card, the gift card holder with a bow. just the gift card holder in the inside of a card. All right, so to the side it goes. And let me just move all of this. And let's now move on to the other die. Which is, where did I do with it? Is the regular gift card holder, their number one seller. All right. So this one here, I'm going to show you how to put it just on the outside of a card. All right. So I'm using the new Vicki Boutin line Floral Emporium. And I've just cut a couple of bases here. And then this is what it looks like when the die is cut out. All right. So I've just took a piece of pattern paper. I lined it on there. And this one is more decorative. This one's got the scalloped edges. All right. And then it's also got the stitch design on there. So now you can actually put your gift card in there and center it in amongst that little stitch design. And it just finishes it off really, really nicely. All right. So there is that. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this together. So this could be on the front of our card front. I've just taken some designer paper and just trimmed them out. So I'm just going to adhere those together. All right, I love this Vicki Boutin line. Light and lovely bright colors and true Vicki fashion with a little splash of 49 a market, which I love. All right, so there's that. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one. And I think for this one, I'm going to pop up a little bit. All right, so you don't have to lay it down flat. You can pop it up as long as you don't put adhesive on those little notched out areas. That is all. You want to have that room for your gift card to slide in. So I'm just going to put this kind of on the outer edges, and then I'm going to just put some foam adhesive in the center, again being mindful not to put it in by those notches. All right, let's take these off, the release sheets. All right, and then this here will now center right on there. Gives it a little dimension. Our gift card will still fit in there nicely. And it's in there really, really well. It's not going to fall out, which I love. All right, so then you can have some fun with the decoration on here. Like I said, Emily Moore's got some really great stamp sets. I'm going to just pull them to the side here, or to vision and into the camera view. There's a birthday sentiment stamp set, and this is all things birthday. And so these all kind of fit in amongst, you know, most of them will fit in on here if you wanted to stamp them ahead of time on here. You could also stamp them underneath here. There's also one that's called All the Happy Things. I absolutely love this set, but it has all the happy things. You know, you're married, you passed the test, so proud of you. This calls for confetti. You're pregnant, so happy for you. It's a gift card. So many different things. I just love the font and the playfulness of this. All right. The Christmas ornament gift card is, I want to say it's under $30, Karen. It is on our website under new arrivals. All right. It looks like a big Christmas ball. All right. So it's there. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and have some fun decorating this to finish this one up. So I have some of the Vicki Boutin ephemera bits here. So let's pull some of the florals from here. Okay, so let's see what I got here. I like that yellow in there. And this is, I mean, this is the fun part again of, you know, playing with the ephemera. There's so much ephemera in these ones. Okay, so let's do those two. Well, maybe I'll do those leaves there. I need one more little floral. A little one, a little one. Oh, there's a heart. Maybe we'll do the heart. Oh, that one's a cute one. Maybe I'll do that one. Decisions, decisions. There's too much in here. Oh, the bee is cute. Maybe we should put the bee on there. This is a partial pack of ephemera. There is a lot more. I've actually done cards and layouts already using this pack. There's so much goodness in here. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so my gift card is going to fit here and here. So when I go to decorate, again, you got to be careful because you got to get the corner of there. So I'm going to start using foam adhesive, but I'm going to place the foam adhesive where I know it's going to be safe. So I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to grab this one here. We're going to layer this. And this is just going to become a very decorative. So there. And do I want this floral? I don't know if I love this floral. All right, let me put the leaves in there. All right, this is a little too long. I'm going to snip it off. No one will know. Let's stick that in. I do that a lot with my leaves to make them fit. All right, where's that little bumblebee? All right, let's do the little bumblebee. All right. I think I'm going to put that little green heart up there. And I've kept amongst the parameters of that gift card holder. And what did I do with the gift card? There it is. All right, so I can still then now stick this in. None of my little embellishments are going to be in the way because I've kept them outside that dotted line. And look how cute that is. All right. So, I mean, I could still go to town and do a little bit more decorating, maybe add a little sentiment on there. And I'll finish that up off camera because I do want to go to the next one. We're going to do one more, guys, one more using this one. And I'm going to do it. This one is going to go on the inside. All right. So same premise as the masculine one, except we're going to use that fanciful one. All right. Again, I'm using paper from the Biggie Booten line, from her new line, Flower Emporium. So on the front, I have a piece of designer paper. I'm just going to frame in. Okay. So again, the gift card holder is going to go in the inside of this one. So I'm just going to create a very simple front. I will decorate it with some ephemera. So to coordinate it, I have this piece of polka dot going on the inside. So I've taken the excess piece so that we have a little border on the front just to coordinate it all. And this is all from the same collection as this one here. You can see the different kind of pieces of or colors that Vicki has used. I mean, it's just beautiful. All right, so this one here, this is the polka dot. This is going to be my base. So we'll frame this one in. All right, and here is our gift card holder. So I'm going to put this one flat in here, and look how beautiful that looks together. And again, I'm just going to keep my adhesive to the outside perimeter. Okay, and then we will center that in. Okay, so there is that. So let me just grab my gift card here so we can position that in. All right, so there is that, and amongst that, let's go ahead and decorate. Now, this little piece here, this is part of another die set from Emily Moore. It came from this one, which is a decorative sentiment die. I love this one because of the beauty of all these dies, but this is this piece. Look how lovely that is. And I just thought it would be kind of perfect just on the front here. I'm going to decorate this, but I'm going to keep the decorating really simple on this one. So I'm just going to grab some foam. Now I could stamp a little sentiment on there from Emily's set, But I'm just going to grab something from the chipboard set and ephemera set that I have here. Okay, so I'm going to just offset this one. We're going to keep this super sweet and super simple. So there's that. There's this lovely butterfly I think would be lovely in there. So I'm going to just stick that maybe there. And let's go into the chipboard because the chipboard has some really cool stuff here. Da-da. Life, this is the one I was there. Life is full of wonder. All in the same color tones. Now I need to have some florals or something there. Or do I put the butterfly here? Maybe that's what I do. I want to keep it super simple here. Do I want to have some white florals? No, I think I'm just going to keep that butterfly there. So I'm just going to grab some adhesive. Keeping it simple. All right, so we're just going to attach that. And then life is full of wonder. All right, I may go back and add a few little extras, but there is that. So nice, simple card there, and then opening up, and then you have that lovely gift card holder. Don't have to do very, very much on that. All right. So let me just bring everything back. I will finish these off camera. I might add a little bit of jewels and such. But I want to just bring them back just to kind of show you. So this one here is the, I've got such a mess going on here. This one is the gift card holder from Emily Moore Designs. All right, so that's going to have that more decorative edge, the stitching, and the scalped edge. There's that one. And then this one here is the gift card holder with a bow. Now, I didn't do the bow, but we made it into more of a masculine card. We did, and what did I do with it? There it is. All right, so there is that, and we've used it on the inside. All right, so the card will fit in there. All right, so it will fit in there. And I love the fact that, yes, you can use them portrait or landscape. All right, so don't always think you have to have it this way. I know that's usually how gift cards go, but honestly, the recipient's not going to care if the gift card is going up and down or back and forth. They just care about the gift card. So, so there is that one. And then, which we started the evening off, we did the Lawn Fawn interactive cards using the pull and slide surprise die, which is this baby here. And we did one cutesy version of it using Lawn Fawn products. And then I showed you how you can switch it up and using another collection like 49 and Market to really change the look of it. So that is it for me tonight. I'm going to call it because it's like 8:15 already. I've got a Zoom call in 15 minutes. So I'm going to call it a night. But these are the interactive cards using some of the new dies that we just received in the store. You can find all of these on our website under new arrivals. And I'll post all our finished samples tomorrow on our Facebook page so that you can see them all finished and done with all the little gems and such. All right. So I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening, whether you're watching it live or on the replay. Thanks for spending time with me and watching me create. And we appreciate you viewing. So that's it for me, everyone, this evening. Have yourself a wonderful night, and we will talk to you soon.